And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 205. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, just in a little bit, we are going to be covering 3 topics on this episode. So, as you guys know, when it comes to Wednesdays, me and Professor Savage Dad usually have our show around like 7 p.m. PST. And then usually I would have my panel show with Grey Poupée and Lunchbox Warren and myself. But tonight, that second panel show that I would usually have for the week, which is on Wednesdays with Grey Poupée and Lunchbox Warren and myself, well, Lunchbox Warren is out of town. He's actually going to a Comic-Con convention to, table and sell his comic book, actually, which is, very awesome. And, people in the indie comic space, I think, need to do that whenever they can. Whenever you get an opportunity to do that, I think you should. Gray ended up having to get into some husband stuff, so it would have pretty much not allowed him to be on the show as much as he wanted to. So I was like, you know what? We're already going to have our show anyway. So we would just have this show for the night, and that would just be, the episode for the MSK show on Wednesday. Also, if you guys don't actually know this, because we've talked about it on the previous episodes of the MSK show, next week, Wednesday, there is no MSK show episode with me and Professor Savage Dad, or the panel show with me, Grey Poupée, and Lunchbox Warren, because, what's going to happen? We're going to be out of town. Both of us will actually be out there in Vegas for the F&T Geeks and Gamers 2025 Las Vegas meetup, actually. So no show next Wednesday. And Thursday, there will be no shows as well, because I am coming home late, because the actual meetup is going to be Thursday. So pretty much after the meetup, I'll pretty much just head back home, because given the time constraints on the meetup, as well as when they announced it versus like my schedule at work, wasn't able to get the Friday off, nor was I even able to push it back to come in later into work. I have to go on at pretty much, even if I'm late, I'll be getting there at 9 and then getting home at 5. But my schedule is 8 to 4. So yeah, that's going to be kind of my journey in Vegas this year. Definitely had a lot more time last year, but last year it was because they announced it, way in advance. And then they also announced it and put it on a week that didn't fall on Good Friday. So the reason why I'm not able to stay as long this year is because the week they're having the F&T Geeks and Gamers Las Vegas 2025 meetup is because next week is Good Friday. And that leads into a very, very, very busy weekend, let's just say. But it's okay. I did 2 of these meetups before. I did the one last year, and I did the one with Gabe El-Taib for his birthday around Comic-Con. If that one ends up coming up and happening, then I'll definitely go to that one too, obviously. But, I already know how these meetups go, given the fact that I've been to 2 of them already. You go, you meet the people that you generally have interactions with on Twitter all year. You take pictures, you talk, and then that's it. That's pretty much how it usually goes. So we'll take more pictures this year. We took like 1. We didn't even post it. And what's crazy, guys? The phone that I had last year that you guys saw was cracked. I was actually eating some greasy food, and I ended up basically that phone ended up just getting destroyed. It still works. I have to just replace the screen, but all the pictures that I took last year, actually, I barely was able to, upload any of them, because by the time that I could have, I had to essentially replace my phone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Tonight, dang. Are you going to play the world's saddest violin for me?
I just did.
Gay!
But in this episode of the MSK show, for the topics that we'll get into, Melonie Mac being garbage once again, proving that she's just a unbelievable piece of shit. The Amazing Spider-Man #1, the relaunch, actually, that has details that we should kind of go over, because it burnt my brain realizing what they're going to do with this relaunch. And then you have Marvel Comics canceling Deadpool's current ongoing series at 15 issues. And Who was the hot, rich, good-looking black guy that said that Marvel Comics was only going to get Deadpool up to 15 issues and cancel it? Oh, wait.
Eric July?
Oh, yeah. Pretty sure that was me. Like, isn't that the Marvel Comics that we all know and love? Renumbering, and a legacy numbering and all that stuff. They just relaunch and renumber so often just to boost sales. Guys, Deadpool as a character, despite you guys loving him movie wise, like with Ryan Reynolds and shit like that, he does not sell very well comic book wise. He hasn't sold comic book wise that well since like Joe Kelly's run back when I was maybe like in 5th grade, when that was even an ongoing thing, or maybe I was in 7th grade or whatever. Like, it's been years since this character has had a good ongoing series. You could kind of maybe count Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, but that's like a 5-issue miniseries, and that sold better in trade than like single issues anyway.
That was, dude, I don't even think I've read that. And I'm a pretty big Deadpool fan. I never really bothered to wind up picking that one up. It never came across as a necessary thing. I know it's a big thing, but it was kind of derivative because the Punisher had already done it. The Punisher had already killed the Marvel Universe. This was just them making Deadpool do it. I guess there's a big fan base behind the story. I should probably read it one of these days. I may.
I've seen like those YouTube shorts where they've gone over like certain snippets of it. It doesn't sound that bad, but it's like Marvel Comics doesn't do like reboots or anything. They do this thing of like everything's essentially either like non-continuity or like a fun like spin-off. Like, then essentially if that's not in main continuity, then what is that then? Is that a what if? Because like that's the problem with them not ever doing any reboots.
It's like, sure it was just a what if thing or something. It was nothing they weren't taking seriously.
Do you know what else came out today? DC Comics utterly bodying Marvel on the ICV2 charts, actually. So Marvel Comics...
There we go. That's news.
Marvel Comics, essentially, as you guys know, has only really had Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Wolverine. The Ultimates kind of sell very well for them. I mean, people are going to point to Ultimate Black Panther, but Ultimate Black Panther really, really fell off the charts after, issue 5.
That's the thing, dude. Black Panther has never really been, short of a couple creators, it's never been a character that he's like Deadpool. He never really stood up very well on his own. It just didn't, It was, I don't know. I know Christopher Priest for a while wrote it and made some interesting work out of it. I remember he had T'Challa like in New York for a while. I know T'Challa took over for Daredevil for a minute once back in the day. I mean, there's all kinds of they've tried to do a lot with him, but they've just never really been successful in making him a character that drove sales. So
yeah, this is what I can say the same thing for like characters like Wonder Woman. It's like, I like Diana, guys, but if you ask me who my Trinity was, because I got so much shit for this on Twitter when I said this, my Trinity is Batman, Superman, and the Flash, and then I would even add in Green Lantern to my other column character. Wonder Woman's not a character that I like as much as Harry or Wally or Hal or Jon Stewart.
Those are the big four with the most memorable stories, the most memorable villains. Like, name to me a Wonder Woman villain.
I know Ares, Cheetah, and that's like it. That's all I know. I mean, technically Hades counts as for a villain.
Exactly. Yeah, those three are exactly who I was looking for you to say. Because there isn't shit else. And two of those characters are just Greek gods anyways.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing created out of these. It's just that's just it. Some Greek gods. You're just telling us a Greek mythological story, and it's... And I you know what, I don't know. I can't say. Like, there's been times that there have been good writers on her that have made her interesting. I think a Grant Morrison run. Whenever I think of when you think of the not even the Trinity, it's the Big Seven. You're gonna roll back into Grant Morrison's era, and you're gonna look at who he had in the book, and what he did with them, and like you got a classic Trinity picture right there. From Howard, dude,
right there.
Porter, Like seriously, I don't know where this guy went, but like
Feels
DC
like John
in the
Byrne. Him and John Byrne just kind of left. They just kind of got out of the public eye. Just
dude Porter
what they
just
did.
vanished into this was such a great era of fucking Superman. Let me find it. There's a really good iconic photo, like him showing up.
Yeah.
Like you know, everyone's seen this Kyle Rayner like pissed off, freaking out.
Yeah.
That's a great one. But like this book that Porter drew was so fucking classic. Like the art was good. It was just one of the best times. Like the early 90s through the late 90s Justice League, like Superman, like with the fucking long, just like badass black hair, like just post Return of Superman, the one we didn't get forever, but we got him for a while. Like just, you know, that Superman, that is good shit right there. But this is such a quintessential one. Like I think he could have done something good with Wonder Woman if he wrote her, but it's hard to think of like stories. She's ostensibly a Greek god. What story are you gonna tell that they haven't told? And who's gonna be interested? What's gonna be the hook on a Greek goddess as a book? It's a tricky one, man. But as far as like the characters who have been written the best over the years, who've gotten the most attention, yeah, Superman, Batman, The Flash, and Green Lantern are DC's.
I would argue Green Arrow
squad.
has more significant stories than Wonder Woman probably has. If I really were just
Green
to
Arrow,
look through him, he probably
the
has better
most
ones
significant
too.
ones. You're
Like
gonna
even
have
Aquaman. Aquaman has that Peter David run that everyone really loves.
the
from
one where
him.
he got the hook and shit.
Like
There was
Jeff
that,
John's
yeah.
run, the New 52. People like that one a lot.
I don't know. I don't know New 52 shit, but I know that Longbow Hunters and Green Arrow, a very well-regarded story, a very hard-to-find story. You can find the trades, but they're all old as fuck. They're not reprinted. They're just they don't give a shit. Like if there was another compendium to throw out there for DC, that would be a great compendium because I'd love to pick up Longbow Hunters. I never read it. It's a little before my time. But not quite the rogues gallery that helps define a villain or helps define a hero like Green Lantern and the Flash would have. Like, in all honesty, if you were ranking heroes just on their rogues gallery, all four of those dudes are in the top 10, period.
Yeah.
Like,
so you'd
easy.
have Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Spider-Man.
Not necessarily in that order, but yeah, you'd have them. Then you'd have
the four there. Yeah, Flash, Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. Those are the four that have the best.
Flash, Spider-Man, Batman.
I mean, it's X-Men. That's
Spider-Man. But no, you still have a rogues gallery that are X-related, dude. That are almost. Think about it. Other than Wolverine, none of the X-Men have their own rogues. That's why they never work outside of the group.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying the Cyclops comic. Nobody's buying the Rogue comic. Nobody was even buying the Gambit comic, but everybody fucking buys Wolverine. Why? Because he's got a real rogues gallery behind him. He's had development. He's got real villains. He's got real controversy to deal with on his own. And these villains sometimes cross over with X-Men and work very well, and sometimes they don't. So yeah, but the X-Men, yes, absolutely. You're going to have that in maybe even a top 5 on rogues gallery, dude.
Yeah, for Batman, Superman,
definitely.
Spider-Man, and Flash, like people would say, who's Flash's rogues? So you have not even just the known one. You have Weather Wizard. You have Reverse Flash. You have fucking hell. Oh my, so many. Jesus Christ.
You've got Trickster. You've got Rod.
Air Master.
Yep.
Oh,
you've
damn,
got what was it? Heat Wave.
You've
got Captain Boomerang, Captain Cold.
Yeah. Man, like, so many classic ones right there. Yeah. God damn. So then for man, Spider-Man, Batman, yeah, those four have to have the best ones. I mean, unless you want to just go down there because like other superheroes that are kind of popular, they only have like one or two. Like Hulk only really has like Abomination and Leader. Those are like his best villains.
And you got General Ross. Another one you're going to put in that top 10 is going to be the Fantastic Four. absolutely a great
they had
rogues gallery
Galactus
coming out
and
of Fantastic Four.
they
You
had
got
Galactus.
Galactus for a
Yeah.
while. You had Silver Surfer. You had Drax. You've got Mole Man. You've
Ghost Rider
got
counts
fucking
as
the
their
Fearsome
villain,
Four.
doesn't he?
No, Ghost Rider wouldn't necessarily count as their villain. Who else do you got there? You've got Namor, not Nimr, but Namor or Namor.
Namor.
You've got, in Atlantis, you've got an endless litany of outer space villains. I mean, Fantastic Four is what brought cosmic stuff in there. So you've got kind of Warlock, but not exactly. You've got the entirety of the Skrull Empire, the Super Skrull.
Who do you think is the most underrated Batman villain that doesn't get a whole lot of attention?
Most underrated Batman villain?
There's a lot that don't get a lot of attention though. The ones that have gotten the most attention obviously is Joker. Joker's gotten the most attention.
Yeah.
Then, if we're going by everything else, probably Riddler's gotten a lot of attention. He's gotten
big. The Penguin. I mean, Catwoman.
Penguin.
I mean, it's arguable if she's his villain, but
that's a half and half
anymore these days. But yeah, like once upon a time, she was very clearly his villain. Two-Face gets a lot.
Killer Croc usually gets quite a bit. He's usually in a lot of the stuff.
Killer Croc is there. Bane. But he's been. This is the thing, dude. So many of these villains have been maligned and shit on and fucked up over the years. But
who would else I put there? Shit, I think Man-Bat needs some love. I would think a character like Anarchy. I think they should.
Anarchy kind of disappeared. Yeah. Azrael would be kind of interesting to see him return. Even if
we'll use Deacon Blackfire for the Batman cult story.
Yeah,
Blackfire's really cool villain.
Ra's al Ghul has been kind of out of the main for a bit.
Yeah, he gets oddly, weirdly not enough attention, but he gets some appearances here and there. But he's never, in my opinion, he's never done justice. Like people factor in Ra's al Ghul's a character.
They did it in the fucking Tower of Babel story with Justice League. That's probably one of the biggest things they've done with him.
Yeah.
In a very long time, but then they kind of abandoned the character again. That's the same with Bane. He shows up, but Bane isn't the character he was when he was created, and he's not used he's not used in the way that he was created as kind of the perfect.
Hugo Strange outside of Arkham City hasn't got anything.
Yeah,
outside of
Mad
Arkham
Hatter.
City,
Mad Hatter's been basically fucking. Yeah. Where the hell's he at? So.
Damn, there's so many great Batman villains that don't have anything. That just have Mr. Freeze pretty much has nothing outside of like the Batman animated series. Outside of that, you could count like the Arkham City game where he had that really good boss fight. But that's
I don't remember the last time. Well, this is the thing too. Like they're so much more interested in creating new Batman lore these days, it seems like, than they are in just fucking telling good stories with the rogues gallery they have. Like, I'm not going to say that I disliked the Court of Owls, or if you want to go a little further back, Hush. But like, did Batman need more?
Villain,
Yeah, they did, but it's like, did he even need more? You have so much fertile ground to play with Batman, and they don't want to.
I understand why Nolan. It's crazy. I understand why Nolan used Scarecrow in his first Batman Begins movie. Like if you think about Scarecrow, he can be a villain that could just carry a whole movie by himself, essentially. And he had Ra's al Ghul on top of that in that same movie. Two of Batman's heavy hitter big villains in there. I mean, you had Joker, Two-Face the next one. You had just kind of Bane in the last one. But it's like some of the Batman villains could just be main villains by themselves. And you also have the underworld hierarchy too, like the Falcones and the Melones. You have all that going on.
Yeah, that was. I mean, God, that was what was so wrong with the Batman. Like, fuck, dude, you could have just done that whole movie with the Penguin. And I watched the Penguin series.
You did?
It was a good series. It was really good. Mm-hmm. It was better than the movie because it actually had a focus. It had a story point, and the characters were compelling. Had they used Falcone's daughter and the Penguin, had they incorporated this show and made it kind of the subplots of the Batman that was a 3-hour movie, that would have been a great movie. It didn't need anything more than that. You've got the Penguin and you've got the Falcone crime family. you could have told a very good, very character-driven story that used a lot of the beats out of this show and just left fucking Catwoman out and
What were we saying?
the streamer. He's
Oh my
not the
God.
Riddler. He's
Poison
like the
Ivy.
fucking streamer.
Poison
Poison
Ivy
Ivy's
hasn't
another.
really gotten
Poison Ivy's too busy being a
anything.
lesbian with Harley. So that's all
That's
they're
why I
doing
said
there.
for the
Harley,
Batman,
she's
they
helping
should-
Harley fart.
That's what I said for the Batman. The Batman should have just used Anarchy. Anarchy is a better villain for that premise of a plot than Riddler. That wasn't even really Riddler.
Yeah.
That was just
That was more like Anarchy than anything, but it didn't need any of that, man. For early in Batman's career, Batman year one kind of fucking vibe they're going for, they should have stuck with the Penguin and the Falcone crime family and just combined that show into the movie. Would have been fucking great. At 3 hours, you have like Batman, The Godfather. You could have made that movie.
Mhm.
There's a great movie in there between that show and that movie. And if you would have just worked all of that in together, that would have been a great movie. That would have been a classic Batman story where you get to see him being a detective, which is one of the best things that they did with him. The fight scenes were okay. You didn't see much of him.
As much as people criticize
they couldn't do much
Nolan's
because he's
Batman
not big
movies
enough.
for that. Remember that was the biggest.
Yeah, the fight
criticism?
scenes were good. It worked. I mean,
Yeah,
he was believable as Bruce Wayne, like great as Bruce Wayne. What's his face? Twilight Boy was a shitty Bruce Wayne. His Batman costume looked good, operating in the dark with the fights kind of looked good. Seeing him on the scene doing the detective work was good, but like his fights were mediocre, and him as Bruce Wayne was trash. He was a trash can Bruce Wayne. It was Timu Bruce Wayne. Like it just didn't work. So
we have some good news for you guys here. The top 50 comic books for March 2025 sales ranking based on comic store POS.
it's all alternate
data.
universe shit.
God, so you know what's crazy?
POS data, you're fucking with me. They're getting POS data from comic shops now.
Well, keep in mind. Well,
Wow,
this
they've
only,
got real numbers.
well, this
That's
only
fucking
totals
wild.
like well, no, because this is weird with ICV2 is because it only totals it from 200 comic book stores, though. That's the thing.
Fuck, that does. Well,
But
dude,
this
are
is
there
the
more than
only
that
thing
left open anymore
closest.
these days?
Well, this is the thing. This is the only thing closest to getting sales data on anything because they don't release the numbers anymore. So we don't know nothing. But
Well, they don't. None of the stores participate anymore, really.
they probably
Well,
don't.
you can tell,
Yeah.
just by going into them, dude. Like the one that's by me that I usually go into that's close to my house, not close to my work. They are diversifying their content like a motherfucker. Again, the new rack is short, but like they're completely rearranging their store now. They've incorporated reselling video games, reselling DVDs. Like they're doing straight up tons of toys, DVDs. Like they've got built Gunpla models that look really good that they're selling. They've got retro toys, tons of them.
Yeah.
Old Transformers. You've got a little bit of new comic books. And their comic book
Did your
area
store
where
order
they
a lot of Batman 158 for Hush 2?
no idea. I haven't been in the store in weeks, dude.
Okay.
But last time I went in for Sonic X DC, and it had only been like, I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe it had been about a month since I'd gone in there, completely rearranging it and starting to sell retro games and retro game consoles. Like I don't know that they're struggling to stay alive because they've definitely expanded into a bigger space there, but they are definitely bringing in more revenue streams that are probably a lot more valuable. And I don't like, if comic shops are going to survive, they're going to have to do this, dude. They can't live on that medium. And that's just all the more proof to me that the medium is dying, even if a slow death, is that it's not even a comic book shop anymore. Comic books that are new are kind of ancillary, and they don't buy a lot of it. It's
That's
all
why
for
they're
people who
retitled
have boxes.
now. They're called hobby shops now.
It's basically what it's going to kind of become, is kind of be a hobby store.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they'd be so smart if they started carrying Gunpla models and shit.
Mhm.
That would sell, man. Start getting some of the stuff in there. They used to carry airsoft. I guess the market kind of died off for airsoft. People aren't as into it anymore, so they don't have it anymore. But this is like the third time I've seen them kind of rearranged the way everything was in there. They had the Airsoft era, and then they expanded next door, and they had a little bit of toys and their dollar comics and shit. Now they shove dollar comics to the back of the store, like hidden behind shelves and shelves and shelves of game consoles, video games, toys, swag and memorabilia that they're selling and such. So they're kind of just picking up anything they can, and
they might actually sell better on their own website than they do even in store to keep afloat. And they just probably have the store for like just a brick and mortar thing, just for like storage and shit like that.
It's a pretty big spot, and they've worked pretty hard. Like they've got some nice custom displays. Like I think they move some stuff in the store, but it's never busy when I'm in there.
All right. Let's see what we have here for a top 10. So your top 10 for March 2025 was Batman issue 158 is number 1. Absolute Flash number 1 is number 2. Absolute Batman number 6 is number 3. Absolute Martian Manhunter issue number 1 is 4. Absolute Superman number 5 is 5. I found that weird. Absolute Superman issue number 5 is 5. Okay. Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 6 is 6. Okay, that's a deja vu. Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 15 is 7. One World Under Doom issue number 2 is 8. Ultimate Wolverine issue number 3 is 9. And Absolute Green Lantern issue number 1 is 10. Damn.
It's all alternate universe shit, dude. I can't believe the Absolute stuff is actually doing as well as it is. Like there's been some negative response to Superman. I think Martian Manhunter is going to be very much like
an update on that.
Ultimate Black Panther.
I just read Absolute Superman issue number 1.
Oh, yeah?
And it certainly was a comic book written of all time. Truly one of the comic books ever made. That might have been the most disjointed comic book I've ever read in my entire... The dialogue was so bad. I'm not shitting you. There was a part in there where he's reminiscing about his mom's past, and she's like this farmer, and they need rain for this land. And then it starts raining, and she goes out, and she's acknowledging the rain, and she's like, "Can't wait to get soaked in this."
There you go.
Time to soak it all in.
What is that?
Oh God, absolutely! I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I hate it. I'm gonna keep reading because me and Labs Comic Fan, we review this stuff. Holy crap! Absolute Superman number 1 is not a good first impression. That book was yikes. That was not good. Absolute Batman number 1. Absolute Wonder Woman number 1 and Absolute Batman number 1. I thought those were good. Number 1 issues to start off with. Those were fine. Absolute Superman that was not a good first impression. At 36 pages that was $4.99. That was just yikes.
I can't believe that all of these books are pushing Transformers out of the top 10. Like that surprises me.
Means Transformers has to rebound after all of these somehow lose their footing.
Oh, they're going to. You're going to see Transformers shoot back up because these are just selling right now because they're big and new. But as more people talk about the lacklusterness of Superman, Martian Manhunter, I almost
Lab said it was good. He said he liked it. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah,
so
but people said that about the Ultimate Black Panther, and I think Martian Manhunter is in that same wheelhouse of a character that never really carries his own book.
But they know that though. This is only going to be a 6-issue miniseries. They already announced 6-issue miniseries.
So it's a trade.
But if the sales are there, they said it'll have another arc.
The trade's in the back. Yeah, the sales aren't going to be there, dude. Are these sales there for any American comic books these days? Really?
So where did Transformers go? Transformers issue number 18 is at number 15. Amazing Spider-Man is not in the top 10. It's at currently 11. So it's out of the top 10. And then it's issue number 69 is at 13. Godzilla Fantastic Four. Oh, I forgot. They're doing their Godzilla. They're doing their Godzilla versus the Marvel Comics big roster. So those are going to have a bunch of number 1 shots. Are going to sell very well. Image, what else is on here? Let's see. Just Marvel and DC stuff. I mean, there's no Image stuff. Yeah, no one's talking about the new G.I. Joe launch that they're building up.
I'm looking forward to getting the trade on it. I can't believe that it's so quiet about that after there was so much clamoring over Duke. And Duke was really good. And I read the first issue of G.I. Joe. I enjoyed it. It was good. No, it was the same
DC, Sonic the
vibe
Hedgehog,
that all of them
issue
are
number
in.
1. The crossover with those two are at number 19. I would assume a DC Sonic the Hedgehog crossover would at least be like top 10 worthy. That's
I can't believe.
crazy.
I think that stores sorely underordered on it, because this is a little secret I'm going to tell you about comic book stores. They aren't really for kids. They're not there. I can't tell you the last time I saw, like, the last time there were children at a comic book store, I took my 2 children with me, or my one child with me, to get Sonic and Sonic X DC.
Yep.
But I never see them. Even like free comic book day. I'm trying to think. There might have been a kid there, which is the day you think you'd see them, but no.
Yeah, there's nothing
not
here
for
for
kids.
Image. Yeah, Image just has
This is
G.I.
the thing,
Joe.
though.
That's it.
They sell out of that shit. The shop I go to never has it. Even the shop by my work, I don't find Sonic comics there at all. They don't order enough of it, and they're constantly sold out of it. More than likely because parents, like myself and the adults that go there, just pick up the comic for their kid in their pull box. If I was going to get a pull box again, that's most of what would end up being in there anyways. It'd be Sonic comics, probably, I don't know, Godzilla stuff
X-Men.
for my youngest.
Exceptional X-Men with Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost.
Really?
You know what's crazy? Tom Brevoort said that the book is slow paced, and he said if you don't like it, you can go buy something else. It's like, Tom, we're already doing that. Thank you.
Tom, why are you paying people to write this thing that even you're telling people not to read? No one's gonna read it. No one cares. No one will will shops even put this on the shelf? Like, at what point do comic book shops just say, I'm not ordering any of this?
That's never gonna happen. They have their lives tied up so hard. There's no way. Their lives are all tied
that's
into
the thing,
this.
though, dude. You just have
They've got themselves into a death spiral that
need.
they just can't get out of. Like, they barely got Diamond Comics Distributor. They barely got that saved because I got rescued by someone.
Oh, that's
comic shops.
Dude, somebody wasted their money there.
Yeah, and the comic shops owed Diamond quite a bit of money, actually.
Yeah.
So, woof. That's where we're at now currently.
Well, Diamond had screwed a lot of comic shops out of money too. Like, I can't believe that anybody does business with them anymore. I would do everything I could to avoid having to do business with Diamond, but also I would just literally pick and choose the comic book shops that are buying everything and slapping it out on the new wall are wasting money. They just
shelf
are.
Space too, because
their shelf space is wasted. They don't need the every new week's book. They don't. They're not going to sell. You're going to put them in storage. Maybe you'll move them online. Maybe you buy one copy, and that's it.
You have to sell them in collection. What I've seen people do on eBay is they sell like the big white long boxes. They'll do I think they do what, $100 for 100 comics or whatever. Something like that. You just do a bunch of long boxing. You just ship off long boxing as lots, seeing if people can pick up the a rare comic in there that they can grab it and flip it.
You're gonna get that because they're selling you the crap they couldn't sell from their new shelf.
But that's the point. They just have to get it. They just have to sell it to you. All they care about is just unloading it at that point.
You're not making. You're just clearing out storage at that point. $1 a comic. You're not making money. You already paid more than that.
No way. It would cost
the margins
you way more
are pretty
to ship
fucking
that.
narrow.
It would cost you way more to ship that box itself than the actual money you would have made on selling those books.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much money, guys, it would cost you to ship a long box full of that many books?
Dude, it'd be more than 100 comics to fill a proper long box. If you're talking about a regular,
the ones that they have,
white box, yeah, the long boxes like I have in front of my desk here, those are long.
Just like
my
wife's,
definitely more than 100 issues.
Just like my wife and our sex life is long.
I don't know. Is she buying you any new shirts lately?
Definitely
I heard
not.
about that Lakers shirt she picked up for you. I didn't realize you guys were that close.
Hey,
I seen her
I
in
like
the
that
chat. I didn't know if that was
I like that
Like-
shirt actually.
what it is, but now I know. Now I know MSK's got a woman in his life dressing him.
You ready to have some fun tonight with some of these topics?
Let's get into it.
Do you want to just like freaking fist me? You want to just dig all my shit out completely?
No.
But it's Tuesday.
But we could talk about comics.
Oh yeah,
Books.
but that's kind of gay. Well, guys, I'm gonna end up dunking on this. I'm gonna end up dunking on this worthless, stupid, dried up, old egg, hagged up bitch. Can't wait for it. All right, let's have some fun here. Hey everyone, I am a black man and I'm gonna fuck your wife. All right, that's entertainment. That's not a take. That's just entertainment, actually. You know. But we're gonna have some fun. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and I'm your fucking daddy, and I'm ready to eat yo butthole out. Okay, I'm joking, guys. I am joking.
On to
and
the next one.
Jokes are the best thing to make you guys happy. All right. We'll definitely be serious. But outside of joking around with you guys, comic book shops are
joking off.
Comic book shops are in a interesting state. I'll just say that. But I will have episode 4 of Comic Book Market Watch coming out very, very soon. I'll probably end up doing it tonight because I'm not going to have the other, panel show that we normally do on Wednesday. So expect Comic Book Market Watch episode 4 to drop tomorrow for you guys when I can set it up, because it's not just like I could just do that video randomly. You guys have to know that I have to set up all the tabs. I had to set up everything I'm going to say, everything that I want to talk to you guys about in those videos. So, dude, before we go to the topic, there was a guy that sent me a 5-paragraph essay about. I'll have to show you guys after.
Really?
I'm not shooting you on my third
About
episode,
what?
On my 3rd episode of Comic Book Market Watch, because you know how I told you I share the videos. I shared the videos, and this guy just gave me a 5-paragraph essay. It was glorious to read. Like he's acting as if like I didn't say these things before. That might have been his first video he ever watched, so I'll let him off easy. But let's get in some fun, guys. Hey everyone, I am MSK. And I am your daddy right now, and I'm going to be giving you some honey and some sugar and some loving. All right. Hey, everyone. I am MSK, a.k.a. Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Melonie Mac. So Melonie Mac is an absolute worthless piece of shit. So before you guys ever see this video, I would highly recommend you guys going, whoa, now we're black. His wife ruined my brain.
How can you make money with such a stupid idea?
And how can you not make money with such a brilliant idea?
At first, we didn't know what to do with all the money. We tried burying it, shredding it, and burning it.
That's what Marvel did. That's exactly what Disney did to their money. They tried burning it. They tried shredding it. They didn't.
That's the way it went. That's what you do when you don't know what the hell you're doing, I suppose.
God, hold on. Can you speak for a second? Sir, I asked you to speak sentences, not howling noises like you're a wolf.
I was making police siren sounds at you.
Man, people in their loud engines around here. Man, I just want to punch one on the fucking throat sometimes.
Oh.
Oh God. We won't be going over Rippaverse stuff until next week because there was too many L's for Comicsgate to take this week. But nevertheless, Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Melonie Mac being an absolute worthless piece of shit once again. So before you guys would watch this video, I would highly recommend you guys go and check out a previous video that we did on Melonie Mac on the channel. And that's the video that I did it with LG and Iron Oxide and Full Metal Nate. We had like this big episode for the MSK show where we ended up doing the video on when she like unleashed her retarded brain on the world with her Gooner Gate video, when everyone just basically told her that she was an absolute fucking retard. So we have an update on that situation for you guys. So no, she didn't respond to me. So after that situation with the whole Gooner Gate thing, where she basically just revealed herself to be just a lying, worthless, fucking degenerate hypocrite, where like, guys, the reason why I recommend you watch that previous video is because I laid out all of the receipts to prove why this person is a disingenuous, lying piece of worthless human shit, actually. So I would normally just kind of go under her posts and she would be like God is king and all that other like nonsense, right? And I was like, can you prove to me God is real? If you're going to sit there and tell someone to like, you know, read the Bible and all sort of stuff, all right, convince me, someone who doesn't like believe in all stuff, convince me God is real. She wouldn't do it, obviously, because, you know, she can't prove God is real, because that's why religion is mostly bullshit for a lot of people. But if you do happen to, you know, like your religion and everything, more power to you. I'm just saying, for me, not a religious guy, but I like to kind of pick people's brains sometimes and understand where they're coming from. So outside of that, because I would usually just like to fuck with her sometimes, she ended up basically having these really egregious takes. One was on Sydney Sweeney, where she basically like put her own foot in her mouth based off like her own actual actions. And then she had another one based off of a take that she had with the game Marvel Rivals that recently just came out. And their newest character that recently just got unveiled for Marvel Rivals was Emma Frost. Now, as you guys know, for anyone that knows anything about Emma Frost, even if you don't read comic books, even if you've never read a comic book in your entire life, you would know that Emma Frost is seductive and she looks really fucking hot. That's her thing, because she has mind manipulation powers, very similar to like Professor X on a very like much different scale, actually, right? So we're gonna go over two of these first, right? And she ended up blocking
she's
me.
a psychic. She has psionic ability and all that.
So Melonie Mac ended up blocking me after I called her out for her bullshit with Sydney Sweeney. So this is the thing. I will just preface this right now. I don't disagree with the premise of what she said. It's just that the actions that you see from Melonie Mac end up making it out to be something where you're like, wow, this really hit a nerve, proving that this person just is not seeing the amount of irony that's happening right in front of her face, because Melonie is just a stupid, worthless e-thought at the end of the day. So let's go over some of these. And I have them all compiled here. So, you know, it's crazy. I actually went and I actually scrolled down my notifications on Twitter to see like, okay, when did this happen? And this happened pretty much like a week and a half ago. So she was talking about Sydney Sweeney, and Sydney Sweeney basically called off her engagement with her longtime boyfriend. And Melonie's point was basically she wanted to be like a whore instead of like, you know, settling down and getting married. Now, that's the part that I agree with. Women do that. They'd rather just, you know, sit there and be a whore and like have a bunch of guys than settle down. And then when they hit like 40 years old, they're going to be like, oh, where'd all the good guys go? That's what a lot of women do. And a lot of these women now are going to end up regretting that. But we know that anyway, right? So that's not the point that I disagree with. I agree with her on that. So I'll just go over Verbal Riot's response to her, because after that, you get to where I obviously made my comment. So Verbal Riot basically said, sometimes shit just doesn't work. Better to break it off than be in a miserable marriage where you're contractually obligated. Yeah, that's true too. Like, we don't know the reasons why it was called off. We'll never know.
Yeah.
It's not like she's
Who the fuck even cares?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is Melonie Mac showing her toxic femininity.
Yeah.
Why does she give it? Like, Sydney Sweeney doesn't know her. Sydney Sweeney doesn't care about her. Sydney Sweeney will never hear of her and never know who Melonie Mac is, because Melonie Mac and her will never run in the same circles. Like, and this, what this is, more of the toxic femininity. You know what it really is? Look at Melonie Mac. She's assembled out of a couple scrap 2x4s and some 1x1s left out at a lumber yard somewhere. Somebody planed that shit as flat and as smooth as they could and said, here you go, stick a wig on it, call it a former e-thought, a current e-thought, a conserva thought, whatever the hell you want to call it, and shove it out into the public eye and stare at it. And then there's Sydney Sweeney. And I'm sorry for anybody who wants to think otherwise. Her bitching about Sydney Sweeney is derived 100% from the fact that she is jealous of the fact that Sydney Sweeney is better looking than her. And nothing Melonie Mac ever does will change that. Yeah. Melonie Mac is already older. Isn't she in her 40s? Isn't she
38.
like 2 or 3 marriages in?
No,
she's almost 40.
She's 38, yeah.
Wow.
This is the other thing.
She's basically exactly the demographic that votes for Joe Biden. At least she's not a single mom. Thank God.
Yeah. So the other thing to bring up here is, like, I will give credit to Sydney Sweeney on this. Sydney Sweeney hasn't really been in anything super controversial. She mostly just keeps to herself, and she usually does those like those thought or those, like, I'll say thought. That's kind of what she is. So she does
what she's doing. Whatever.
No, she does those thirst traps. She does those thirst trap Instagram bundle photos. She does.
You mean all the shit that Melonie Mac used to do,
or still does?
It's conserva thought now. Okay, she's got way more clothes on to cover up the lack of a body, or the body she doesn't have anyways.
The other part that she replied to Robo Ryan, I met Robo Ryan at the meetup for DC Gamers FNT last year, 2024. Awesome guy. I had a one-on-one with him. It's a pretty cool guy to talk to. Her cited reason was that she wanted to pursue her career instead of settle down, and that there was nothing wrong with a relationship that was rooted in love. Okay. Like, don't wait.
That's just bullshit for both of them to sound good, though, dude. Her PR firm wrote that for her.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, and frankly, we don't need to know. Why the fuck does again toxic femininity? We're men. Neither of us gives 2 wet shits about why they broke up. Neither of us have, like, if it wasn't for Melonie Mac, who's tangential to this circle and who voices her near Matt Walsh level retarded opinions on culture, except for the fact, like, we give her more grief because she was supposed to be a commentary person on the culture.
Yeah.
And she can't form a cohesive, consistent sentence about it anymore. Not that she was ever great, and frankly, I've never liked her, period. Not that I had a problem with her beyond the fact that her voice is so fucking annoyingly shrill. She is like Dick Masterson. I stopped listening to her as soon as I heard her voice and said, I can't, no,
I want to ask,
I can't hear this person.
Do you not see the level of irony that is right here with Melonie saying this right here? So I want you guys to really read this tweet. Read it again. Her cited reason was that she wanted to pursue her career instead of settle down. Melonie, what are you doing? What are you doing every day?
Exactly.
That's
Melonie,
really
like,
what
Melonie
you're
Mac,
doing.
Like, she has this very strong opinion about the way people live, but she does nothing to live that kind of life because she doesn't want to settle down. She's incapable. You know why, though? Men aren't interested in her. Her personality is dog shit. She isn't attractive. She has an okay face, but nothing else to offer a man
like
anywhere.
If
any man watches any of her content, they're going to be like, you just sound like a girl boss. You're just a conserva thought Mary Sue. No. I'm sorry. It's completely unattractive. And I doubt she knows how to cook other than eat butter. All she does is eat butter. But, like, no, there's nothing. There's no redeeming value in her, and she is jealous because Sydney Sweeney looks like Sydney Sweeney, and Melonie Mac looks like Melanie Mac, and this is very like basic shit. Women hate each other. You can talk shit about toxic masculinity all day being a threat to the women's. Nothing is more threatening to a woman than a woman that's prettier than her. Period. Being within 20
and that's more
feet
popular
of her and her man.
More attractive and more popular.
Absolutely.
Those are the two things.
Toxic femininity has done more damage to women writ large than men ever could. Period. And that's Melonie Mac right now.
I just find it crazy how she's going to have such strong opinions about what another woman wants to do when she herself isn't doing
the same thing.
She's criticizing Sydney Sweeney
for.
She's
doing exactly what Sydney Sweeney is doing. It's no different, except Sydney Sweeney has like a real career, and Melonie Mac struggles to go anywhere where guys don't feel bad for her, which is basically side scrollers and the quartering. That's it.
Verbal Riot replied to her, and he said, right, but if she's not ready to give up her acting career at only 27 years old, that doesn't make her a whore. It just means that she's not ready for marriage. Also, Verbal Riot is right there. Why would that make Sydney Sweeney a whore if she was going to settle down and marry someone? That's like literally that's like the opposite of what a whore is, guys.
Yeah, so if she's not willing to do it at 27, that's reasonable. Why hasn't Melonie Mac done it all the way into her 40s? She is basically too old to even have children at this point and to settle down.
That her eggs
she would, if she had a child right now, it would be considered a geriatric pregnancy. Like it's dangerous to start having children at that age.
So what's the age limit? Like women that get into their 30s, their late 30s, early 40s?
It's like, dude, like 38.
No,
is it
35?
35, yeah. So by 35, it's a geriatric.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
My wife corrected. Yes.
Yep.
So yeah,
I knew it was
Melonie Mac is way far past that. She doesn't live. She talks about Christianity. I've never seen her do like a Bible study show. I'd be surprised if there's any evidence that she attends a church regularly. That she has a Bible
channel where she reads the Bible, but I've never seen her do anything.
I could do that.
Do anything IRL with like church or anything.
I don't like. That's the thing. I don't believe that she actually does. I think it's made up. Here, MSK, we could do the same thing right now. Let me pull it out here. There we go. The Kingstone Bible. Let's go.
The graphic novel of the Kingstone Bible.
You haven't seen my servant Job? I have. There are none on earth like him. He fears me. He hates me. He hates evil. He loves righteousness. Yes. But why shouldn't he fear you? You protect him. You bless him. He has a wonderful home, abundant flocks, and a healthy, large family. Look at that, MSK. We just did what MSK does. We are as Christian a show right now as Melonie Mac. There you are. Let's go. Let's get them follows. Let's get them subs.
The next thing that she replied to Verbal Riot was she's a slut because she takes her clothes off for the world to look at her. But that's acting. That's her job, essentially. That's not. She doesn't have an OnlyFans. She's not.
Are we gonna say this about every single actress out there?
Ever?
I mean,
for every single.
And in all honesty, she hasn't done it that often. I think there's one.
She did it in Euphoria. Instances. There's like Euphoria. One episode of that.
There's Euphoria, and then there's a movie where she's had a love scene, and that's kind of about it.
Yeah, like.
And frankly, compared to the shit that HBO used to do, that shit was pretty tame.
Compared to what Game of Thrones did, from what I've seen, that's pretty. She did some pretty tame.
I bet Melonie loves fucking Game of Thrones.
Also, I was gonna say here, you guys know I would shit on women regardless because I love shitting on women and all their hypocrisy, and I just can't.
You got to keep your kinks off the stream, bro. Like what you and the girlfriend do in the privacy of your own home when she buys you Lakers t-shirts.
She chose that over a husband. Melonie, you're doing the same thing.
Melonie Mac is choosing butter and streaming over a husband for a decade longer than Sydney Sweeney.
The reason
Shut up, Melonie.
So the reason why I got blocked was because then I said this. Then why did you get divorced then? Mic drop. Chef's kiss. Light the fireworks. That's why I'm top G. And then what happened after that, guys? She blocked me because I completely just destroyed her horrible logic right there. So if what she says is true,
just asked her what has she been doing in the decade of time that's between the two of them right now? Why has she not? Like, where is this life for you? Because all you're doing is chasing your career. You make more money being a single conservathought, a Timu Ashley St. Clair, than you do married. And you have no interest in finding a man. And she's a skinny little thing. She'd find some dude that finds that attractive somewhere.
I hate when people do this with girls like her. There's plenty of guys DMing her. She has no shortage of options of dudes. There's none of that. She has plenty of guys messaging
and she has no interest in making any sort of effort in finding a long-term lasting relationship where she's committed to someone. She would rather go on streams and be a conservathought and make money off of her clout chasing, her content farming, her click farming bullshit. This is what keeps her relevant. It is the only fucking thing. And much like we're seeing with, our, I would say distinguished nemesis over in Comicsgate, but I would rather call them just, as you would see the retards in Comicsgate, as they lose every battle and they lose every ounce of relevance. When they encounter people, they just turn on them. But as you starve them for oxygen, they fall away. As I block them and block them and block them incessantly, every thread that shows up in my stream my feed when I see them, they go away now and I don't see them. Melonie Mac should be the same thing for people. She has nothing coherent to say. She's a waste of time. She's a probably fake Christian to some extent, a conservathought. She's Timu Ashley St. Clair that would give it all up for some of that Elon spunk if she could get it to get that money. That's
so here's the other one that
waste
ended
of time.
Happening. So this is the post that also went off even harder. So we had this one where she put her foot in her mouth for getting revealed once again to be a hypocrite. So before I go to that one, I'm just going to reiterate my point here. I got blocked by her, and I don't care because fuck this stupid worthless thought. I pointed out to her that she is divorced and also choosing to be an e-thought, a worthless skank hobag, than actually go and get married. But women and being hypocrites, name a more iconic duo than that, guys. I bet you can't. Beside Goku and Vegeta, beside God and Satan, name a more iconic duo than those three. But this is another one. So she said, porn is turning men gay. People are all excited because Marvel created a drag queen with prosthetics. LOL. Guys, does this look like a drag queen?
No, dude, well, see, this is the thing. She covered up the part that made it very clearly the most feminine part. She also covered it up because, again, Melonie Mac is jealous of even characters that are better looking. Like, all this constantly is her being toxically jealous of even comic book characters that look better than her. Like, but Melonie, yes, that character had tits.
Laura Croft is a character that she's apparently in love with. Like, I believe if Laura Croft was a real person, she would put her tongue in Laura Croft's vagina so deep her eyes would roll back like a slot machine. I'm not kidding. Melonie Mac is that gay for Laura Croft. She had a video where she was mad that they toned down Laura Croft's tits to make her less feminine.
And now she's like, oh, let me blur these out, the part that makes it very feminine, but she bitched about all the rest of them too. And then everybody had to show her, like, hey, maybe stop pretending like you know what you're talking about, Melonie, because you don't. It's a comic book. You don't know the X-Men. You clearly never read it. You don't know what Emma Frost dressed like. You don't know what she looked like forever in the comics. Just shut up, Melonie. You sound stupid.
She knows nothing about comic books.
No.
At all.
She doesn't have any room to speak on it.
I just don't get this post at all. And then we had another one where she doubled down because she just couldn't realize that she had just, got exposed for not knowing what she talks about. The next one was Emma Frost looks like a post-surgery man in drag. That's just not true. Meanwhile, the other women in the game actually look like women. It's painfully obvious what they are doing here. Melonie, that makes no sense. Hold on. That makes no sense. So Marvel had a track record of putting out feminine-looking characters that look like this, but now all of a sudden they want to look like a drag queen. I don't even like defending Marvel. That just makes no fucking sense. That's just like some crazy conspiracy theorist bullshit that you can't prove.
What it is her generating interactions. I mean, the only thing she's probably making much money on is the amount of interactions she get. It's what keeps her in people's feeds. If you haven't blocked her and her name or muted her, then this is how she keeps herself. This is just more of her being in the public eye, making herself seem relevant. She's literally shotgunning anything she can think of to attempt to stay relevant or to go viral and get picked up because it's going to get her interactions. It makes people, and if people want to talk to her, even if it's to shit on her, then she gets paid to go on their show
for Twitter engagement because she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about when it comes to X-Men.
Yeah. No, she doesn't know anything about comic books. She never did, and it's never been a realm she lived in. She's worse than a Wikipedia fan. She didn't even Google image search shit before she started making all of these replies and comments on it. I remember I replied on this one. I posted a bunch of Emma Frost artwork, which isn't fucking hard to find. Like if you look at it from the point where she joined the X-Men, she basically always looked like that.
China is still with the Troon psyop on Americans. They just glammed it up and people are eating it up.
Yeah,
I don't even have enough brain cells in my brain.
No, dude, there is nothing worthwhile and relevant. Like people don't even want to interact with her anymore. Like people don't want to bring her on shows. She doesn't show up anywhere now. Like nobody kind of wants to deal with her. Yeah, the Quartering probably has her on some kind of contract, and he's stuck with it. And I don't even know that she goes on side scrollers that often anymore. If she did, she'd get roasted.
Oh yeah,
like hella roasted. I remember what happened to Razor Fist, and he barely does his own shit now. I think he only does his own shit now. Like, good job, guy.
Melonie Mack and Razor Fist got roasted so hard for their Christian puritanical takes that they don't even appear anywhere but their own channels.
Dude, they weren't even that like Razor Fist. Maybe he does have commentary, and you'll see him talking about and showing the stuff that he does at churches. Melonie, I don't believe that for a second. I think Razor thought he was going to get some Melonie bussy.
Oh, you know she doesn't shave. I can tell she doesn't shave at all. That shit's hairy as fuck. Emma Frost had a...
looks like a hipster.
This is crazy, though. Guys, Melonie can't even spell belt. Emma Frost had a svelte? The fuck is that? A belt? A belt? Can you spell, bitch? Emma Frost had a belt, feminine frame before this. It's mind-boggling that anyone who isn't an alphabet advocate is excited about the masculinization going on here. Easy bait, and it looks like they succeeded. Melonie, I don't know how retarded you are, but this doesn't look like a man.
She just likes to look. I'm claiming victory, and everyone else is wrong. It's like, no, Melonie. Nobody, just shut up, Melonie. Nobody cares what you have to say. Nobody values your opinion on games anymore.
And she said, Emma and Invisible have like the same jawline in these pics. Sorry, I just don't see what the concern is. Is it the hairstyle, the more striking eyes, the blue lipstick? They don't have the same jaw at all. Oh, Melonie, you're retarded. What the fuck? What in the hell?
No, well, see, Charisma made a very good point there, and Melonie couldn't argue it, so she ignored it.
You know what's crazy? And this is the
she ultimate was proven wrong in one good shot.
If anyone doesn't know, this is the cover art for Emma Frost's new, probably mini series for Marvel Comics right now because they can't keep an ongoing series to save their life. Okay, this is what Emma Frost usually will dress in for them. These are very, very big and juicy and good looking. So,
bro, that's
what's the difference between this
compared to the shit?
What's the difference between that and that? Not much. You could just tell she's just dresses provocatively. That's
Dude,
just what Emma
Melanie
Frost
Mack
does.
spends more time looking at trannies than anyone else on the internet I know.
Oh god, like it's crazy how.
I don't know, bro. Yeah, dude, I would. There ain't much more to say about it other than, yeah, like Melanie is a
Your
waste of
test came
time.
back. I'm
I
stealing
don't
this.
I don't watch the
I'm
quartering.
stealing that. Your test
That's a good
came
one.
back retarded.
I don't watch the quartering when she's on. I skip side scrollers if she's on. I don't like the sound of her voice. I don't listen to her, and I think and hey, it just so happened to coalesce that she's also completely retarded and has bullshit takes based on her supposed religion
Oh,
that
I want
she
to go over
doesn't
one
follow
more.
in any way, shape, or form, or live up to, or her shitty advice on being a good Christian that she also doesn't follow or live up to in any way, shape, or form.
Also, I want to
Good
point out
for
for
her.
Melanie Mack.
Other than being chaste, I suppose, because nobody
Melanie
wants to
Mack-
sleep with her.
Melanie Mack is such a great Christian woman that she has tattoos all over her body. Pretty sure in Leviticus it says not to have those. You can't have any unholy markings on your body. Pretty sure it says that almost bit verbatim, word for word. It's almost like I read the Bible at one point and actually was Christian. Crazy, So Viking Orc had another one that destroys her. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, my brain is fried. I'm joking, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Melanie Mack is continuing her bullshit campaign against Emma Frost and Marvel Rivals. Her claim is that Emma's face is too masculine, thus making Emma a drag queen with prosthetics. Yeah, that's such a stupid take too. Not Viking, but her, a girl having like a masculine jawline would make her a drag queen. Are you retarded? Are you like actually fucking stupid? Are you like really stupid?
Basically.
Thus, Chyna and Lita from WWE and Kristen Johnston have similar facial structures to Emma's face. None of the women are men in drag or even troon, yet Melanie would still have you believe Emma is just a drag queen with prosthetics. And if you agree with her, I feel sorry for you too. Your hatred of porn and anything not traditionally feminine is so perverse itself that you're blinded to reality. I didn't tag her because she either never saw or ignored my presence with just Christian yesterday, so why bother? Yeah. Keep in mind, guys, you know how Melanie says things like porn perverses people's brains? I want people to understand, because this is why I like the argument against her. There are women that act a little bit more dude-like. We used to call them tomboys, or women that have like masculine jaws. There are those girls with deep voices, actually, but we don't think they're drag queens. We don't think they're less women. There's some women that have deeper voices. There's some women that obviously have bigger jaw lines. Like, what the fuck?
What Melanie didn't understand there is that
More
Emma Frost was
brain,
drawn.
honestly.
Well, no, Emma Frost character was drawn in such a way that she actually had hips in a feminine figure. Like she had birthing hips. Like she had some big hips on her. And Melanie, again, is shaped like a fully planed and polished 2x4 that has no hips at all. Straight up and down, bro. Like she looks like she was 3D printed, bro. There is no curve to that.
But I'll ask you your final thoughts on this.
Melanie Mack is a waste of time. You should mute her and move on with her life and never interact with any of her clickbait. Also, her voice is annoying as shit. And she seems completely undateable, which is why at 38, she's single and alone. And she's
divorced.
a single white woman, a single divorced white woman at 38. Thank God she's not a single mother, because she's got all of the hallmarks of a Joe Biden voter.
I also want to point out that after our last video, Melanie Mack is just continuously exposing herself as a completely retarded moron. The fact that
there's got to be something. There's got to be something said to the fact that while Sydney Sweeney may have exposed her breasts in a TV show once, Melanie Mack is out there weekly, daily, exposing how retarded she is.
That should be offensive in and of itself. That should be against the law.
It is offensive. It's completely fucking offensive. And while exposing how retarded she is while claiming some form of Christian belief structure
Or sense
makes
of
all
morality.
Christians
Yeah.
look worse. The association of her to the religion makes the religion look worse. So who's doing more damage to Christian beliefs? A woman who's 27 and decided she's not ready to settle down and once upon a time showed her boobs on TV, or a woman who goes out there fucking daily actively driving people away from Christianity
and making them actively hate the religion. Yeah, that's not a good thing. You know, it's crazy. The last thing I'll bring up is Melonie is just a moron, guys. She is proven to be just a hypocritical liar. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I don't know why you guys simp for her. I really don't. She's not that attractive. She's like a 4 out of 10. And that's with makeup on. So we don't know what she looks like without makeup on. That might be a train wreck, actually. You know, keep in mind, what we're looking at with women on the line is with them with makeup on. So you have to kind of maybe take away a few points without the makeup being there, right? So I just like when a woman says things like that, where she basically compares other women with more masculine features to being drag queens, that's when you know that the woman you're listening to is utterly retarded in every single regard and just have completely lost the plot. She lost the plot on video games. She's lost the plot on the human anatomy. I don't even know what her brain is even conjured up.
Well, that's because, again, she's shaped like a 2x4. So she, of course, doesn't understand that women have hips and bodies. I will also say this too,
as my last point, which is I'm pretty sure men online should be taking advice from a divorced 38-year-old, dried up egg, retarded, completely undateable,
perpetually single
Christian in quotations with tattoos on her body, which the Bible clearly says you're not allowed to have them. And then having the gall and nerve to be called out for these tattoos and said, no, Jesus loves me. He'll forgive me for them. Oh, so you actively don't do what the Bible says and then just do that little fucking, what's that thing that people that in religions do? They have that like fail safe, that caveat.
Oh, the repent.
Yeah, the whole repent thing. It's like, you stupid, worthless, dumbass bitch. Oh my God. You're holy crap. And obviously, I just don't get this. Someone with a platform like her, should be kind of, I don't know, maybe using that message to help people get into Christianity. But she is not, because she's an absolute moron. And Melonie Mac is a fucking retarded, worthless piece of shit. So that's just how I feel about her. Will I make another video on her? At some point, maybe when she does something retarded again. Maybe at some point.
I would be fine never even having to hear about her again. She's boring. She's as boring to talk about as she is to look at.
That's true. So yeah, Melonie is a piece of garbage. So just like when I had sex with my wife last night, Melonie did not satisfy me.
Why do you keep like talking about you and your girlfriend's things, bro?
Whoa! I had sex.
Is she gonna get you another Lakers shirt? I know you've got a girl now. She's totally buying you another Lakers shirt. I know. This is happening. You can't deny it anymore.
Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
That was a banger. WZ says, came in and MSK is bashing a woman.
Where is WZ? Dude, I've been...
Classic MSK, my oat. MSK masturbates to her while angry. Definitely not true. Definitely not.
There's WZ. Okay, good. I was going to say, I've been waiting to see chat get moving here for a minute, but yeah. WZ, you're not wrong. But what doesn't he masturbate to?
I don't check off anything. Like, literally.
Except for his girlfriend that's buying him clothes now. Don't let him try to fake that out, folks. Remember, chat, MSK's got a woman in his life now dressing him.
That's not true.
Literally dressing him. I always forget her name. I've only talked to her on the chat once, I think.
Good Lord. Oh, God. Lennon is retarded.
I'll remember, though. I'll remember. Yeah, there we go. Lennon. Yes. Yes. MSK's girl. Lennon. There you go. Where's she at? Is she going to come into chat tonight? I'm going to say hi. MSK girl over here. Talking about him wiling out. Oh, hey, puppy. All right, we got one more topic here. What are we getting into now? Did you get lost?
Do you want to make love to a black man?
Oh,
Yeah. No, like, man, some of these websites that run all these background ads, oh my God. It's just so bad sometimes.
It's pretty rough.
Lord, like, you'll go on a website and they'll have
Lord.
You go on these websites and they have like ads for Vagisil, they have ads for Tresemme, they have ads for like birth control and TurboTax, and it's like, who runs all these ads?
You need all of those, bro.
I might just install ad blocker at some point because it'll make the performance of the
Bad
actual
What are we pulling up now?
Pulling up my pussy, honestly.
It sounds saggy.
You ever had
Let's
saggy
go.
melons?
I don't
You ever had,
know what
you ever
that
had
is.
All right, 1 down, 2 more to go. 10 minutes, bangers. You guys are gonna love them. Before we
Yeah,
go,
these will be fast.
you know the ads are specifically targeted, right? I don't believe you. Did I say Lork? What is a Lork, actually? What is a Lork, everyone? I don't understand. Let me scroll down this website to see if it's not gonna slow me down anytime soon. Okay, let me stop seeing that ad.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, we'll skip it. We'll go to the next one.
No, fine. It's going now. But can't wait to have TurboTax. Can't wait to have TurboTax, guys.
TurboJax.
Tax season is over. All right. You guys ready to actually start fisting me in the ass? Because I'm ready for that right now. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Amazing Spider-Man #1 relaunch in my pussy when I fuck some bitches tonight.
Almost. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
Try again. Come on.
Try again. Don't you want to bang me tonight? Don't you want to dig me out? No? All right. Let's have some fun. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Amazing Spider-Man #1 relaunch details. So, The Amazing Spider-Man is the flagship Marvel Comics series that is perennially their #1 seller. Currently, right now, Marvel Comics' best sellers are actually all of their alternate universe titles, but the primary 3 that are selling very well for them is Ultimate Spider-Man, which is, obviously being written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Marco Cicchetto. Then you have, Ultimate Wolverine, which I think is very, very good. I've read the first 2 issues. It's, I would say, definitely a banger so far. Can't wait to read the other issues that are coming out later on this year. Then you also have the Ultimates, which is, written by Denise Camp, and that one's been a perennially decent seller for them. Ultimate X-Men was selling a lot for a little bit there, but then that kind of fell off. Then you had Ultimate Black Panther, started out strong, but then the sales kind of started faltering on that, when it got like further and further into the later issues, actually. And Marvel Comics has did a very, very bad job with Peter Parker, not just in comic-wise, but also like I would tell you guys like MCU wise as well. So the recent run by Zeb Wells ended, earlier last year, and then it was announced that Marvel Comics was going to do this thing called like the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, and then after that concludes, they would end up relaunching the Amazing Spider-Man flagship series that they have for Marvel Comics. To you guys know this, because I know you guys know this for Marvel Comics. They're rebooting it back to, guess what? A new #1 with legacy numbering. Oh my God, Marvel Comics relaunching and renumbering? That's not the Marvel Comics I know and love. The Marvel Comics I know and love consistently values their numbering based off the amount of customers that buy this shit repeatedly, and they invest their time and hard-earned money to get these comic books to be anywhere from like issue 1 to maybe like issue 80. But Marvel Comics, because I would just say this. I recommend checking out a video that we did on this very topic when it first got announced. Why would Marvel Comics relaunch The Amazing Spider-Man? It's not even a book that ever goes outside of like the top 10. And recently with the ICV2 charts, it was at its lowest 13. And that's with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. And some of you guys told me in my comment section that you guys thought that was trash. You guys told me that. I didn't read it, but you guys told me it was trash, right? And keep in mind, I'll read all that stuff eventually, but you guys said you didn't think it was that good. And keep in mind, a series you guys said is not even good is a book that's in the top 13. Why are they rebooting a book that is nothing out of like 15? That's just stupid. You're gonna get a bump in #1 sales again, pushing it up to like number 2 or 3. And then what happens after that? Oh, it'll just stay there in the top 5 because it usually is a top 5, top 10 book. So then we actually got some details on this book because I have the time of us doing this video. The Amazing Spider-Man #1 is out now. So I'll add it to my pull list and I'll end up reading it and reviewing it with like whoever is going to get it on the channel, whether it be Savage Dad or Last Comic Fan or Lunchbox Warren that I do the reviews with, right? So Joe Kelly, who's writing on Spider-Man, and Joe Kelly wrote on Spider-Man before. You guys probably know Joe Kelly. He's the guy that wrote the Deadpool you guys all know and love, not Rob Liefeld, even though he created the character. So Joe Kelly ended up talking about what they're going to end up doing with Peter Parker in this Spider-Man series compared to Zeb Wells and what he did. And guess what's going to end up happening here with the series, guys? Because they're just addicted to Peter Parker never growing up. He's going to go even to a period before high school. Guess what? Here's their revolutionary idea for Marvel Comics in 2025. We're going to put Spider-Man in junior high school. That's their revolutionary idea. Stop the madness, Marvel. I thought Marvel Comics was the house of ideas. Now they're going to put Peter Parker in junior high because they just don't ever want this guy to grow up. Why can't he ever grow up? They see the sales for Ultimate Spider-Man, him being married with kids, very similar.
They
to
don't
like
care. They very
Sam and Lois.
explicitly said they don't give a shit, and they'll never be together. At least Tom
Brevoort said, if you don't like it,
Dumb
you can always
port.
stop buying it. That's,
Yeah,
Peter Parker,
well, that's
MJ
what
were
we'll do.
married. They, pretty much destroyed that with One More Day. They had Brand New Day. Oh, you guys know all the story. I said it in the previous video. Go and watch that. But here, I'll give you guys the details of what's going to go on with the Amazing Spider-Man #1 relaunch. So, Joe Kelly, we read his Deadpool and Wolverine WWE3 series. God, that was just terrible. That was just bad. That was awful. That was awful in every way. And then he wrote a little bit on 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, but he probably, I would assume he probably ran it down in that series because that was gonna be over anyway, and they were gonna relaunch with this. So here is the details on Amazing Spider-Man #1, the relaunch starting with this new one right here. What the fuck? Oh, sorry about that. I actually just lost my brain. Joe Kelly swings into Amazing Spider-Man #1 with a fresh start and big plans. The new era of Amazing Spider-Man begins on April 9th. Joe Kelly is no stranger to Spider-Man, including his work on The Amazing Spider-Man back in 2022. Now, Kelly gets a chance to return to the world of Peter Parker with an all-new Amazing Spider-Man #1 launching on April 9th. Speaking recently with AIPT, Kelly's enthusiasm was practically palpable. He says, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm very pumped," Kelly said. "Spider-Man has always been my favorite superhero, period. And I've had the chance to work on M before, but certainly not to kick off a series again and relaunch it at a #1. Joining him on the book are superstar artists Pepe Larraz and John Romita Jr., ensuring that the visual storytelling will be just as dynamic as the writing. Kelly comes to the book fresh off 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, which no one read, no one cared for, a bridge story leading into this relaunch that's been heaps of fun. But the question begs, what are his plans for his takeover, and what can we expect for Spider-Man under Kelly's guardianship? Keep in mind, this book can never prosper with the editors at Marvel anyway. At some point, when it let's just say it does well. Let's just hypothetically say it does well. You know why it's not going to matter? Because they will eventually get so jealous, Tom Brevoort and the other person that edits for the Spider-Man team, they'll end up shooting it in the foot, even if he does a good job. Let's say he does a good job, just to say, fuck it, like we might think he will do a good job. Marvel Comics will always shoot themselves in the foot, no matter what. The challenges of writing Spider-Man. With Amazing Spider-Man being a bi-weekly book, the workload is no small feat. Kelly was warned about the rapid pace, but has embraced the challenge. I'll look at all these great ads on these websites for you guys. No. I didn't mean to hit this ad for this website. Oh my God. Get me out of that. No, I don't need this. Get me out, please. Good Lord. Sorry about that, guys. Gonna watch that in the video. I'll probably just edit that out. The speed is a challenge, Kelly said. And then, obviously, like you just said, it's the flagship guy. Besides being my personal favorite, who I just always want to do right by. He's the superhero. He's the best. Despite the daunting responsibility, Kelly trusts his instincts and prioritizes fun, a core element of Spider-Man's DNA. Even when it's dark or it's scary or intense or whatever, am I giving what I think is the most compelling story to the reader, Kelly said. Well, I hope you do. That's all I'm going to say. If this book fails at this point now, you know what Marvel Comics is going to do, guys? They're just going to relaunch it again. Digging into Peter Parker's past, one of the most intriguing aspects of Kelly's run is his focus on Peter Parker's past, specifically his pre-high school years. Yeah, because that's what we all want from Spider-Man now at 2025, for him to explore his pre-high school years, even though he's been in high school forever in Marvel Comics at various points. We definitely want that now. While Spider-Man's origin story has been told countless times, Kelly is fascinated by an earlier, largely unexplored period of Peter's life. But, God, this is so, oh my goodness.
Nope.
Why?
I already don't, I just, yeah. I don't care. It bores me. As I've said a million times before, like, Marvel has made it very clear to me that my opinion and what I am interested in seeing in Spider-Man doesn't matter. So
what in the?
They're not selling me.
hell?
They're not bringing me back in. I'm not picking up the book. I have absolutely no interest.
Oh my God, Joe Kelly, Jesus Christ. Holy crap. I'm sort of fascinated with Peter as a young person, like pre-high school, Kelly said, because we haven't really spent any time with him at that time period. You know why no writers ever did that, Joe? Because no one cares. That's not a thing people care about. No one cares about that. That's such a weird thing to kind of focus on for a book that's supposed to basically be the flagship book as a starting point for their, what you said is the biggest superhero of Marvel. And I feel like we get a lot of our hand wiring, I feel like we get a lot of our hard wiring at that age. Kelly believes this period was pivotal in shaping Peter's worldview. You hit that age and you're like 13, 14, and you start processing things differently, Kelly said. He lost his parents when he was younger, but what does that really mean to him as an adolescent? Does he act out? Is he more reserved? We always see him as the nerdy kid, but was he angry? Because when I go back and I read those early books, Peter was mad a lot. This emotional exploration will play a key role in Kelly's Amazing Spider-Man, shaping not just Peter's past, but how he handles challenges in the present. I'm just saying, guys, none of this sounds any sort of interesting. I'm sorry. Like, even if I were to keep reading this would just sound so unbelievably stupid. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
There's just no selling this book. The editorial staff, as I've said again, until they fire all the editorial involved with Spider-Man, X-Men, etc., all of Marvel's editorial is cleaned out and replaced. I'll never be reading a Marvel comic again, and they're doing nothing here to sell me on it. And Brevoort already told everybody, go buy something else if you don't like this. And you know what we do? We go and we buy this because this is what people want to read.
Yep, that's exactly what people want to read.
Spider-Man. Nobody wants it. Nobody's going to pick it up. No, it's underselling it. And then we'll go back. I'll buy this, and I'll buy it. I will buy them used, so I don't have to give Marvel money for them. Oh, but yeah, no interest because they've literally said they don't care about their fans. So why read Amazing Spider-Man? There's no reason to. Frankly, people just shouldn't, unless you're a fan and you feel this applies to you or the book is for you. But the editorial doesn't care about you either.
Yeah, it's true. I'll be honest here. I usually kind of read those articles generally kind of like all the way through, but like that's the premise. The premise is Peter before high school. Like, how in the world is that interesting? Like, how does that get me excited to read Spider-Man at all? I mean, I'm going to get it. I'll read it. Maybe I'll see if it's anything worthwhile, but that just kind of sounds like I just kind of read this in a trade whenever you kind of do them for the series. Whenever the trades are out, that's what you kind of, read them for. And that's kind of what the series is going to probably end up being for a lot of people, unless you're just a really hardcore collector of the Amazing Spider-Man series. I know there's a lot of hardcore collectors on that title because it's a very, very popular title. It's the biggest title, obviously in Marvel comics, but, I don't know. To me, I don't even get this though. You're collecting Amazing Spider-Man titles for what reason? Like, to sell to who? Like, you collect them for yourself? You're not selling them, So, yeah, that's just me. Do you have any closing thoughts on this, actually?
No, just I frankly don't care about mainline Marvel at all.
Yeah. Damn.
They don't care about they've very clearly stated they don't want my money or any other fans like me's money, so I don't give it to them. Because their books, it's just not good. Mm-hmm. There's just nothing interesting in it. Nothing engaging. Quite boring. So, meh.
Stop.
I can live without it.
Yep. That's just kind of how I feel about this relaunch, too. To a certain degree, it's like, man, the description is so unbelievably bad. Like, goddamn. Marvel, could you not? Oh, good Lord. And this is something that they need to be a big hit after essentially having that long series go with Zeb Wells, This is a series that you need to do well after the disaster that happened for Zeb Wells writing the book for so long. But apparently they don't want to learn. Joe Kelly's like, yeah, Spider-Man, junior high school. That's our premise? That's what we're going with? Sure, fuck it. So, yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace. All right. Topics are done. Now we just speak like human beings.
Now, Billy, how many times I told you not to call here and interrupt my kung fu?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
You haven't by the pussy?
Oh, God. All right.
Hey, where are the white women at?
That is just apparently fucking with me. Huh. What is coming out this week, guys? Let's go to League of Comics Geeks. What is coming out this week? I heard some crickets. There were crickets. Oh my God, man. Oh God. Oh, he muted himself, guys. That's the thing. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Give me a sec, guys. Give me 1 sec.
Emotional damage.
All right. I was just sitting here witnessing everything. So
that's what you're there to do. That's what you're there to do.
Oh, golly, man.
Yup.
Well, that's pretty much it. Honestly, there's nothing else to pretty much cover. I can't really open up any Google Chrome tabs right now without it putting a serious
That new
strain on my
PC is
computer.
doing a good job for you, bro.
I haven't put it in yet. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I have to put this new PC in very soon. It's just Google Chrome is just a intensive resource.
I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe I just go to Opera GX now and let the Chinese spyware take me over. Honestly, maybe that's what I do at this point. Oh God! But yeah, can't wait to put in my new PC and
someday
get things going.
How many months has it been now?
It's only been since December.
Yeah, totally not that long of a time to sit in a box. I would have done a foreign one or something. Jeez.
Oh, dude. And then also out here, people are just revving up their engines so loud when they go to the liquor store. Oh my God. Also, I'm gonna have to edit. I'm gonna also edit the episode 2 because when we're doing the video, the last one, I ended up basically hitting an ad on the website and maximizing it. So I'm gonna have to edit, the episode. That video when I eventually put it out. Holy mother of God! But yeah, that's pretty much
the way.
I don't think there's nothing else to talk about. Honestly, I know I said.
I think we hit it.
I know I said 3 topics, but I'll get to that other one next week with a Labs comic fan at some point.
You had a lot to say about Melonie Mac, bro.
yeah. Melonie Mac just breaks my brain sometimes. Wait, isn't Vaughn Coleman gonna be out there in Vegas too?
He is. Apparently, there was a big printing screw up, and they fucked up the staple on issue 2, and they've got it low. But he will have copies of Phenomenova if you never found yours.
He said he sent me one, a re-one. So he said, "Did I get it?" And I told him yes, but I don't even know if I probably did. I don't even
never
know,
dude. You've got 25 copies of Dean Cain All-American Lawman.
God, man. Dean Cain All-American Lawman, that was good. I
gotta go find
thoroughly
your
surprised.
Comic book so you can review them. You don't even know if you have Yaira 2 yet or Great War Separation.
Those 2 I have. I saw those packages.
Mm-hmm.
I would always get things from Jen and Sylvie. I loved Yaira #1. That's the best book in the Ribbiverse so far. Oh God.
They're not gonna date you, bro. I'm sorry. You're gonna look. They're not into you.
Let me see. Apparently, Ethan is closing out some big Comicsgate campaign.
Yeah, it made like 10 grand.
But what is this?
We're boring! We're so fucking boring!
Oh, it's Comicsgate Live. closing out the biggest campaign of 2025 with Shane Davis. So it's Shane's campaign closing out. He made
didn't even Anna shit on Inglorious Rex at this point?
I don't know. Well, to be fair, who listens to Anna for comic book knowledge?
I don't. I just saw the posts that someone was putting up that she was like not really shitting on it, but critiquing it. And
he probably didn't like that, because
interest.
they don't really like criticism around here.
Nope.
Oh God. So his
Having
campaign,
dicks, though, it's weird.
his campaign for Shane's, it made 289K essentially with 3,000 backers.
Good luck ever getting a book, folks. I wish you all the best and that you get it.
Shane's like the only
spending
person
my money.
that kind of fulfills on time. Him and a few other people, but like, is Shane's books worth reading? No one talks about his books. No one
And they're
these guys' books.
expensive. They're like all said and done, you've dropped like $50 for the thing, and it's a 48 pager. Yay.
Oh God.
eBay stopped relisting this for me. I've been trying to sell it for so damn long.
No one bought the Godlike book, actually?
No, nobody wanted the alternate Dale Keown cover at all.
Oh gosh, man. Like,
Bruh.
whatever happened to Mandy Summers' Gym Shock book? Wasn't that going to the printers? It went to the printers. But that hasn't done anything. That's gone nowhere, actually. Because Mandy Summers is not going to produce anything. Because she produces nothing but trash. I wonder what else is there. Let's see. Oh, I never asked you this. How do you feel about Grums?
I don't care.
It feels
Either
like
way.
everyone just like obsesses over this guy. Whether it's
I
good or
don't
bad.
know why. He's just another video game dude.
I thought the same thing too. Like, everyone just obsesses over him on anything. And it's like, what in the world is wrong with these people? Like, for people on both sides, people are like obsessing over his takes on anything. And it's like, this is just another dude talking about wokeness in gaming. This ain't anything we haven't probably heard before. He claims to have insiders, but I don't know if that's ever true, So
I don't think anybody really knows.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here in just a minute. Got a great show. I have 9 inches, so I'm very, very good with that. So, what time did you even get off work?
5.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. And then when you got home, you made me dinner. Wow. Wow. God.
That's a very bad idea.
So, anything you want to share with the audience before we head out, actually? Anything you want to
I'm not listening to your stupid classes.
Anything you want to let the audience know about that you're working on?
A game stream that I want to do with oh damn, where'd that game go? With Stranglehold, John Woo's Stranglehold, John Woo's Stranglehold.
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
Wait. Who are you?
Like somebody, fuck you, man.
So hopefully I'll get around to doing that. I don't know when. This weekend, maybe. Last week was busy. It was my birthday and shit, so did birthday stuff. I've got all of my gym equipment built now, so
that's good. Awesome.
I'm just looking for things to do. Other than that, I have a build stream to do for RoboCop gun. So I don't know. I might even build some Gundams on stream. I have these I got for the birthday.
Whoa! Aren't they making a Gundam live action movie?
Oh God, I hope not, but who knows?
And Sydney
Maybe.
Sweeney apparently is casted in it.
I could deal with that.
She definitely has some big jugs. There's some big machinery going on in that thing. There's definitely two of them. She definitely has two guns. So I'll give her that. But yeah, this is as I told you guys before, we have no show together next week. We're gonna be in Vegas. I'll be in Vegas having sex with girls, going out, drinking, having a good time, asking girls what it tastes like, going on hanging out with hopefully people who will have me around them, you know, give or take. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. If I get invited to stuff, then like I'll be hanging out with Iron and Selena anyway. And like usually they get invited to everything. So that means
we
I
should
go
just
with them
both,
by default.
When we get together, we'll just live stream. I'll just turn on my GoPro as a body cam and we'll wander around with it, stream straight to YouTube.
We need to do it outside of a club. You know, like girls come out and yet, like the guys ask the girls, like, what kind of height you would prefer your man to be? What's your favorite sex position?
You should definitely do that.
I was gonna do it. I need to go up to him and be like, there's a girl gasping for air in your house. I just
found some new functions on the soundboard.
I'm just pointing out the fact that literally, if I go up to girls and ask them like, what height do you prefer your man? And they say 5'9", we're getting married. We're getting married. So yeah, that's pretty much just want to let you guys know that that's pretty much it. I'll be streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel later on tonight, like I did last night, just in a little bit. Probably just rest for a little bit.
Where on the couch?
What in the world? Well, my couch is clean, just saying. And my couch is not dirty at all. I might go to Dollar General before it closes, probably around like 9:30 or something like that.
Your girlfriend can help you get those clothes put away on the couch, bro. You and her will be fine.
Nope. She might try having sex with me, actually. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow, we'll have a one-on-one with 32 flavors of Nick Weiser for his second appearance.
Cool. Nick is cool.
I'm going to end up talking to X-Ray Girl's husband, Mark the Cyborg. I'll have his first appearance on the show.
Very cool.
Yeah. We met him last year in Vegas, and I told him his
he's shorter than I thought he was.
Yeah, I remember
he's shorter than me.
I said his wife rapped to him, and he was like, okay. We looked at each other like, all right. I don't know. It was the most stone cold face conversation I ever had with him. Another dude in my life.
He was a very stoic guy, which he doesn't seem like on stream, but it was also kind of like people he absolutely doesn't know and has never seen before, which is exactly how I expect it to be for me again this year, except for you and Iron and you know me.
Who else is going from the group? I like beside us, is everyone from Rogues Gallery going? I don't know.
Theo's going to be there, and Vaughn is going to be there. I don't know who else is going though.
Emerald, I think, is going to be there.
Okay.
I think
Tiny is going to be out there, I think, for a little bit, but that's pretty much everyone I know that's
Tiny's
Rogues
going
affiliated. Apparently, yeah, but she won't be at the same place that we're all at. There's somewhere else this year. I don't remember. So we're all at the same place again. That's where I'm staying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk to certain people if you guys don't know. I'm just going to be if you know, you know. You can't. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'm sorry you don't know. Just saying. There's a reason why certain people aren't here anymore. Actually, let's just say that honestly. But yeah, can't wait to see the people that I do know and do talk to on a regular basis and have some good. That's just wrong on every single level possible. But yeah, we had a great show tonight. Hopefully you guys had a great day. And thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. And we'll see you guys later. Have a great night.